Hi guys, I'm Madeline Harvey. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. We're going to talk about a couple of things that you can do to help you really blossom authentically as a singer so that you can develop your own authentic personal style. So if you like today's video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up or click that subscribe button below. I'd love to see you here more often. So there are two big things that I want you to play with over the course of today's video, or to just consider at the very least. One is a combination of what's called timbre and tone. So timbre is the unique spirit of your authentic voice. And we've got three major timbres to choose from: husky, brassy, fluty. Now, generally speaking, these timbres will reveal themselves over time. Just as you come to experience more music and become more experienced as a singer, you'll kind of get a sense of what songs fit really, really well in your voice and their corresponding kind of color, and what songs just don't. I'll give you an example. So my voice is brassy, meaning that it opens in the back, in the pharyngeal space, just naturally. So if I'm singing like a country song, it's going to feel very, very natural for me. So if I went, "Hey there, Mr. Tin Man, you don't know how lucky you are. You shouldn't spend your whole life wishing." Like, that's very easy for me. And did you catch that? It feels very conversational and just right in a good place in my voice. Now, if I flip it and sing something a little bit more classical sounding, like dancing bears, painted wings, things I almost remember. It's not that I couldn't, but did you hear how much energy that second song took? So it's worth paying attention to the timbre of your voice. This will go ahead and let you know where your gifts are, where your natural gifts are. Now, once you know the timbre of your voice, again, we've got husky. They tend to be dark and kind of heavy sounding. Doesn't mean they can't sing high. They just sound heavy and dark. Brassy will always be very clear and bright. And then fluty is going to be a little bit more pure in its tone. Now, naturally, pure, maybe clear and warm, right? So you're going to just kind of see what your gifts are in terms of your timbre, and then you can play with that. For example, if we have F3 to C5, we're running through a lot of chest to mix to head place in one scale. So this will help orient our placement and give us a little bit more efficiency of our airflow. So if I went, can you hear how it's like, it's already a little on the brassy side. But let's say that I wanted to shift my tone a little bit. I would start with something that sounds a little brassy. So like, ma'am, hello, ma'am. Ma'am, 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 ma'am. That feels really good. But it's too bright and too clear for my taste. But I've got to work with where I'm at. So I'm going to take that bright tone and I'm just going to tilt it long just a little. So instead of ma'am, I'm going to say ma. So ma'am, mom, ma'am, mom, ma'am, mom. Hear that difference? Now it's barely noticeable in terms of what I'm doing interiorly. Ma'am, mom, ma'am, mom, ma'am, mom. But notice, ma'am, 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 ma'am. See how it totally shifted the tone while still staying true to the timbre. So this is something that you want to keep in mind. One more time for your ear. Ma'am, 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 instead of and it's just a slight variation of what I'm doing on the inside. So if you find yourself that you've got an artist that you really, really love and you really want to work towards their tone, you've got to start by going, what's my timbre? Because there's your gift. There's the spirit and the authentic sound of your voice. But then you want to take micro movements to making the adjustment to that sound. Micro movements. Because you don't want to go, I reject, ma, 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 ma. I reject that. So I'm going to go, ma, 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 ma. It's too different. You see what I'm saying? It's too different. So you've got to work in micro movements. Ma, 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 ma. So just a little tilt is enough to kind of change the tone without changing the timbre. So that's the first thing that I want you to pay attention to is where you're at in terms of your timbre, because that lets you know your strengths and your weaknesses, and then shifting the tone just a little. So the biggest thing is number 2, and that is articulation, like your normal speech, plus anywhere from 5 to 10%. So if I were looking at, there's this Brandy Carlisle song that I really, really love. It's called Raise Hell, and I really love it because it's kind of old-timey sounding, and I like that old-time sound. So the first opening line is, I've been down with a broken heart since the day I learned to speak. So without paying too much attention to the pitch or even the rhythm, I'm just going to look at the language, and I'm going to put it in my articulators. I've been down with a broken heart since the day I learned to speak. So I've exaggerated my articulation by about 5 to 10% because I would just go, I've been down with a broken heart since the day I learned to speak. That's my speech level. My exaggeration, I've been down with a broken heart since the day I learned to speak. So if I were to sing that, I've been down with a broken heart since the day I learned to speak. The devil gave me a crooked start when he gave me crooked feet. So you hear how it's like, it's got that injection of energy, but you can hear that exaggeration of sound via the articulators, making it a little bit more stylized. If I keep going, but Gabriel done came to me and kissed me in my sleep. It's that exaggeration of that articulation that brings out the variation of tone that's very, very compelling. So you want to take your music and look at the language. Put it in your articulators, but watch that jaw because you don't want to over-articulate. But Gabriel, like you don't want to over-articulate when it comes to the jaw because the jaw is not an articulator. It's not. So we don't want to release all that energy. We want to keep it kind of normal speech plus 5 to 10%. Yeah? It's like plus 100. Plus 100%. We don't want to go that far. But we do want to hear that variation of tone. So if I go back to Tin Man, for example. Hey there, Mr. Tin Man. You don't know how lucky you are. You shouldn't spend your whole life wishing there's something bound to fall apart. Every time you're feeling empty, better thank your lucky stars. It kind of goes into the genre of the music, doesn't it? That kind of, oh, that's right in my wheelhouse, that brassy place. So because I'm not fighting my placement, I can do a lot more on the articulation. So keep those things in mind because they are surefire ways to generate an immediate stylized sound that's very authentic to you because it's your speech. It's your timbre, right? And once you kind of know that you can vary those things, it becomes so much fun to play inside of those qualities and to get those little variations of tone going on, those little flavors of tone. But if you liked this video, I did just do an entire hour-long live about how to find your authentic sound as a singer, your authentic voice. So be sure to check that out by clicking the join button below. It's only $4.99 a month, And as a member, you'll have exclusive access to our lives that we do every Monday and Thursday at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. And you can also let us know what you want to learn. Give us your comments right there in the live and join our growing musical family. And again, click that join button. It's only $4.99 a month, and your contribution helps to support our channel. That way we can continue to deliver awesome content that's just for you. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and I will see you next time.